Hello and welcome back to Downtime Activities. Welcome back to our Devil of... We're going to do a new intro, because the reason I tripped is I very nearly said Yeehaw Spooky. Welcome back to our Yeehaw Spooky.
I got bad news for you. This is in the recording.
Damn. Yeehaw Spooky is definitely not the code name for this in all of my notes. Welcome back to our Devils of the West game. When last we left, our rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting some of my bishes. And one daughter, Mama Mish. They had arrived in Wyoming on an expedition for the university to kind of make good on some past alleged damages caused by Professor Bogus.
I was framed.
And then you blew that frame open.
Exactly.
But now having arrived, you've learned some of the context of what's going on. You are at a old living site of some Norse travelers of yonder years, who were maybe a part of a cult worshipping a bastard son of Odin, bear deer, beer, the god beer, god of Wyoming and war. Some sort of strange. They're kind of still unraveling the secrets of this, but a kind of brief fireside chat the first night has shown you what so far has been discovered. Just a brief reminder, you are here with Professor Grace Crosby. Grimes, just so you know, that's Professor Bogus, but a girl, and she kind of looks like, she kind of dresses like a dude. It's that one. Elijah Melton is the person who was already here when you arrived, and of course, everybody's favorite, Leo Potter, was the kind of mouse-ish student who came along with Professor Crosby and a lot of you.
And is definitely not getting swirlies.
If there were toilets, you would give them. You give him, like, it's far worse, because you do, like, actively being skinned deer squirrelies.
You also tried to hang him with his own scarf because you tried to steal it.
That was on accident.
Look, at the very least, he won't ever get bit by Professor Bogus.
Yeah.
Not on his watch, he won't. So, it's still that first night. You kind of have gotten that little bit of information, as well as from a search around the camp, you kind of found some protective sigils of old drawn or etched into trees. They seem to be protecting this space. It's still that night. You are welcome to have conversation with each other or whoever you'd like to, or whatever you guys are doing for that evening before you retire.
Going through our, old monster hunting manual.
You want to see if there's anything about a bear deer? That's what you said. That I was like, is it a bear deer?
It's a bear with antlers, which is just more terrifying than a normal bear.
I don't really think it is. I don't think the antlers will give it any real advantage it didn't have.
If anything, it might get in the way of the teeth.
I really don't think it is all that much scarier.
Reflected sound of
a bear with deer. A bear with deer antlers. The ultimate predator.
A bear with deer hands. That just sounds like a moose.
Is it?
The god of Wyoming.
What is a moose? During this point in time, the moose probably did rule Wyoming.
You're talking about especially sections of northern Wyoming. This is very true. Yeah.
Anyway, you're saying you have your monster hunting book. What you doing with it?
I would like to see if there's anything. I assume there's something in there about undead. If there's specifically anything about sharp skeletons, that'd be nice. I assume it just means skeletons with weapons.
So you're specifically trying to look up something about sharp skeletons.
Just like skeletons in general.
Animated
undead.
Skeletons.
You can look up something about babies not drinking wine.
Yeah, is there anything in there about that?
Turns out that's just wisdom in every book, pretty much. Like, don't give your babies alcohol.
Do they have any, this is a point of history where it's like, give your baby alcohol to help them sleep better.
I know I sleep better when I've had a tumbler of whiskey.
If they, specific weaknesses or, is this a Dark Souls catacomb situation where it's like, they'll keep coming back to life until you find the necromancer.
Roll me the cult.
I can do that.
Cool.
As soon as I remember how the system works.
Four is plenty, especially with the book. You are looking through and you find there's all sorts of stuff about kind of raising the dead and reanimation and the sort. The main sticking point to you, specifically if you're referring to skeletal remains being raised from the dead, typically it talks about like once remains have been brought to the point where they're literally just bone, there's no real way to imbue it with consciousness. There is only the ability to more or less masquerade consciousness. It speaks of it as a marionette. That a skeleton being raised almost always has a controlling source, whether that's the person casting the incantation or some bound soul or something along those lines. It can't, like, undead being raised that have more physical presence, you can kind of imbue with a barbaric sense of life, but bones being just bones are not able to do.
Can I do another occult roll to see if, like...
no.
Sorry.
I just heard, you fuck no.
Can I do another occult roll to try and, like, if theoretically the, like, giant ritual circle that we're currently camped in the middle of,
Well, that doesn't sound
could
very
that be,
good.
like, the purpose of that?
Go ahead.
Like,
You can roll an
if
occult.
there's potentially a
There's
connection
a
between
giant
the two.
skeleton underneath us, like, just
It's
raised up
entirely-
out of line.
This is one of those, like, out of character. Maddie G loves Norse mythology and knows a ton about it. And I'm just like, you don't ask any questions about Norse mythology because James does not know anything about Norse mythology.
Yeah,
Norse
James.
mythology.
Miss Shashashi.
Mythology.
Miss me with that thology. You are fairly confident that
mythology.
if there is any sort of reanimation about, it's unrelated, or at least it's like probably from the same source. But those two those two magical effects would be unrelated.
Okay.
Those were very clearly like wards of protection, and there's no real way for a ward of protection to imbue consciousness or sustain the spirit. It seems like that's literally like those are there to protect this space. Not
Bless this mess.
Bless this mess.
Place.
Norse mythology, chapter 2, verse 3.
Bless
Bless this mess.
And live, laugh, love.
Well, so that means in order to stop the army of skeletons, we won't have to, like, find every tree.
Well,
and,
it'll
like,
be me,
burn 'em down in a
like,
circle.
punching the skeletons while you guys, like,
Hey,
scour and look for, like,
incredibly
some,
good
like,
boxer.
glowing crystal, you know?
To find some Draugr waving his staff in the air.
Right.
Of course.
Get set on fire or whatever.
I'm gonna shoot him. That's
Yeah, probably.
man.
You see some skeletons, and the bullets just, like, go right through, like, through its ribcage.
Oh no, you broke a bone. I'm all those, man.
I'm all those.
Well, but Spindly Norman told us that old bones can be broken,
That's true.
and that we should therefore break all bones. So do we have to break all the bones in order to stop the skeletons?
He said more along the lines of, to break all the bones, you have to break the old bones.
Nah.
If you break the old bones, you break all the bones.
Which does line up with what you just read.
A
So,
giant
Right.
skeleton coming out of the ground.
like the Dark Souls 3 skeleton. You know which one I'm talking about.
The one.
Like Jack Skellington?
Yeah, the skeleton. When you talk about Dark Souls 3, you talk about the skeleton. Is this?
The old skeleton. That's how I got it.
Right.
So you do a little bit of light reading that evening. Anyone do anything else?
It's pretty light reading for the shit we've been involved in recently.
Facts.
I'm a drinking.
Are you still drinking the water that I gave you that you stole off of me?
No, I knew it was water. I'm dump it out.
I'll take one of the watches tonight. I assume.
First volunteer for the night shift.
Take the night shift.
Who's this?
I think I'll be up for the night shift because I might as well make myself useful for now.
There can be kind of multiple you up at once, or kind of take little watches at a time.
I'm busting out a bottle of liquor.
Is anybody not taking a watch?
No.
Everyone's gonna divvy it up.
I think divvying
Yeah,
out.
probably-
if Grimes is sober enough to take a watch.
Probably outside of Grimes and our NPC companions. Like the rest of us are taking watch.
Just give Potter my rifle and I'll stand on the watch.
Don't let anything happen, Potter. Go to sleep. It's a vibro rifle now.
If he fired that rifle, it'd knock him back to Cutload City.
I don't really think of anything that I can talk to the. I don't know. Can I talk to Potter and see if he's come across that name before? Like if that rings any bells for him?
Sure. He's like, I never heard. I think this is the first discovery of that name.
Is this okay? I don't expect you to necessarily have an answer for this. Will might know just offhand from like the setting. Is this after the Prose Edda has like been written and like compiled and like distributed. That's like where all of like Norse mythology like comes from. Is like this big
compiled and translated. Probably widely available. Probably not.
Okay. That's
like
this is like the big book of Norse mythology that like most modern understanding of Norse mythology like has kind of percolated from comes from like one big source essentially, and so my understanding
there's a chance that like the college would like the university would have a copy of it, but
it's the classic.
It's not.
This is a very specific real world question, and if you happen to like have
for the sake of this world that I've made up,
it has. I'm just like
alternate history West is going to be.
But if it was, it might have been an important clue to the plot, so I needed to ask.
Of course.
The question is dumb.
It's like, what's the melting point of this? Just like for important like reasons.
Scientific reasons. Anyone asking or saying? You just want to talk to him?
Yeah, I'm just chatting with him about like Norse shit.
His head's on a swivel, looking for Professor Bogus at all times. Apart from that, he seems to be
out of the darkness.
It seems like somebody from this group discussing like scholarly pursuit things instead of like handing him a knife and making him uncomfortable. He's pretty happy to talk to you.
I guess I did.
Or gagging him with a scarf.
I guess I did hand him a knife and to make him uncomfortable.
Yes.
And maybe I did gag him with a scarf.
Because you were trying to steal it from him, so you could have it.
No, it's my shit.
That's just
spell
good
Grimes
bullying.
without most of Grimes.
Can't spell Grimes without crimes.
Grimes, rhymes, crimes. But he spelled rhymes, R-I.
Crimes. What are you doing? Stick him up.
Man, I'm just an aspiring poet, okay? Get out of here.
Give me all your valuables.
Why
does Grimes ice crime? Like, it's like rhyme, like, really?
So, what are you saying there?
I'm trying to decide if there's anything like I want to ask the Bernard or whatever the hell his name is.
Bennett?
Bennett, yes.
Bennett? I think? Bennett. Who's Bennett?
No idea.
Where did I get Bennett from? Melton. Elijah Melton.
Yeah. I think if there's anything I wanted to ask.
Somewhere in these notes, I'm sure there is.
Is he Tuna Mountain?
We almost had some technical difficulties there from Eric spitting all over his laptop.
It took me all like 3 seconds about this.
I'm amazed that's what almost made you spit soda on your laptop.
Oh, that was danger close.
We have made so little progress.
Yes.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'll probably just chat with Grace and Milton, but like I don't have any specific questions.
Nothing. Just a little bit of light academic discussion by the fireside.
Then I'm gonna walk over and sit next to Posse. Okay. But I'm gonna go from behind him. Though.
Roll me a stealth.
This is gonna be even funnier if he fails the stealth.
And he just comes like running wildly at him.
No, go for it.
Snake eyes, they trip on the stage.
Land with your like, mouth open on his shoulder. No, God!
Mine's 2-1.
So, Potter's like talking to you, and you see him like look over his shoulder and notice, like he clearly notices Professor Bogus trying to quietly walk up behind him, and he's like, "Good night." And he like gets up from the conversation with you and seems to be walking intentionally away from Bogus, looking over his shoulder.
I say you take a shit.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's been up with that boy. Ed said something to him, and now he's just been scared shitless ever since we left.
What'd you say to him?
Just giving him a wise precaution.
About what?
About not getting bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, of course you don't want to get bit. That'd be dangerous. You get gangrene and you get infection. It's just a whole mess.
You got bit by a donkey once.
Well, I deserve that.
Spanky bit me.
He would not. He knows. Maybe he did.
He'd be too scared to bite anybody.
It's the loving little nibble.
Oh, there you go.
You just nibble it on the ear.
Alright. A night's watch, a night's sleep. All of you sleep pretty soundly. Except for one.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Potter?
Jeffers. Since your reawakening, sleep has been a difficult subject. Like, you sleep, but it feels borderline catatonic, and it's not something that's regularly been filled with dreams.
Sleeps like the dead.
The only like nightmares you have are after you talked with Scratch. Like you don't really. It's like you sleep like you're dead. But this night you have a nightmare, which is kind of cool that you're having a dream, but at the same time, not necessarily. The nightmare is of a piece of kind of just like a fairly nondescript patch of dirt, somewhat loose dirt. Looks like something's been buried there recently. You don't recognize it, but at the same time it feels familiar to you. And there's kind of a rumbling and a shaking, and this loose dirt is almost like sand shifting in a dune with the wind on the top of it.
It's vibro dirt.
And
Never bury a man in
basically vibrating, like slowly shaking up and through, sliding in between these particles of dirt is a human body that rises up. And it's not skeletal, it's not undead. It's very much a living, breathing woman. And a familiar one.
Oh.
You recognize Mywin Legrieve, though you knew her mostly as Auntie Mai. She was a lady who rode with you back in the day and etched a little something on the side of your gun for you to help make it shoot a little better. She was the witch of your posse. And by your knowledge of her and a lot of your posse, she very much was left buried in the dirt last you knew about her. Or at least you left assumed dead. And you didn't think to see her face ever again, at least maybe only in your nightmares. And this dream is just her shifting up and rising out, and her very expressionless face, suddenly her eyes open, and she turns and locks eyes looking at you, and then you wake up.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought for sure this was a dream about the hammer of Alabama rising as a vampire.
Noted.
Ooh, another. I've never worked construction a day in my life. Cool.
Didn't I kill him already? Where are you at?
All right, everybody, kill him again. Sure.
That's scary.
That's spooky.
Ooh.
Prepare to
little
get
hot.
spooked.
A little hot. Don't tell Grimes about your name.
They forgot to bury her upside down.
Horrified face, horrified face, horrified face. That's my fetish. Horrified face.
Horrified face, like for a completely different reason now.
All right, and everyone else, though? Peaceful night's sleep.
Well, I'll make some coffee.
Okay. Start a little fire. You can roast a bit of coffee for the morning. People are all for it.
Yeah, I'll drink some coffee.
I'm shooting.
A lot of these people that are not the group of you are professors or university students, so they're all about having some coffee.
I take out my pipe and start smoking a little bit.
I'm gonna drink some liquor.
Wake
Little
up.
hair of the dog.
I wake up and try to read my Bible.
Okay, go ahead and roll me that there willpower or whatever it's called in this here system.
I've got spirit. Yes, I do.
Spirit, that's right.
I've got spirit. How about you?
He's got pretty good spirit, but he rolled bad.
It's a 2. Can't bring yourself to open it.
That was a really cool.
And like you kind of like pick it up and like reach to like just flip it open to a page, and like it's kind of like a jolt of you not being able to do it, and the like an image playing in your mind of just you riding with your old gang, and like it's you thinking about some stuff you've done in your past, and it's almost like your body knows what you've done and doesn't feel like you're worthy to open this book right now.
You know, I'm not gonna drink some coffee because it tastes like nothing. So it does nothing.
It doesn't. The caffeine doesn't do much for you anymore. The truest curse of that person. Caffeine immunity.
When they say immune to poisons and diseases, you don't think about the
You don't
repercussions.
think about being drunk or getting a bunch of caffeine.
Well,
Starting early, the next day, Elijah seems to be kind of up and at it fairly early on, and is starting to like go over to some of these areas he's been excavating, be a kind of strong word for it, but what he started doing around here.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
And start helping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll let's see. I guess the four of us, unless they need help like moving heavy stuff or something, I think we should start up like a patrol in twos and just like kind of like walk a circuit.
I think it's fine, but I'd kind of like people to stay here.
Well, yeah.
So like if maybe two, like if two
One,
people
Two
stay
go on
here.
patrol, two stay here.
Yeah.
And then we swap.
Swap out. Okay.
Sounds good.
Who has
I'll go with
the dummies?
you, and then you two can go together.
Dang.
Only one came back.
Well, we stumbled into some real bad bandits, and Grimes joined them. They rode off.
Well, I mean,
Well, there goes my retirement fund.
Well, just a portion of it.
And now you have an excuse to go collect your
It's
retirement
true.
fund.
There you go. You guys won't believe it. I found out that Grimes has a bounty. Let's go get him.
You guys are out doing your patrols and your sets, digging up this kind of area. You can tell that there's a kind of cave, and out in front of the cave, further out in front is where your guys' camp is set up, and there's this ravine. Beyond the ravine, but right in front of the cave, there's lots of signs that you can tell Melton has kind of dug up and started to clean up that show signs of life. Like this seems to be the living area where a lot of these people there's like signs of some wooden structures, some like wooden pins, probably for holding animals or the like, and a lot of that kind of stuff seems to be out here. The cave itself doesn't have a whole lot of signs of that, but you can see signs of some stuff that he's excavated. It seems like that's where he's found most of like the documentation he's found, or any of the like etchings and writings and stuff like that. Also in the cave, there seems to be a section that's probably what goes deeper into the cave, but it seems to have a cave in right at the cave's mouth itself there. And right now they're just like all kind of scattered about and little brushes out, sweeping stuff up, excavating and cleaning and getting a look at stuff.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna walk back out to Sam.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab some of my nitro that I have.
On the plus side, this is ultimately making it safer for us to ride anywhere with the professor.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I'll take some of the nitro. Kind of just lean over to Grace. You may wanna grab Melton and Potter and step back away from the cave.
Slow down, Professor. Professor Lopez, please. Alfonso, let's not get hasty here. We need to make sure that we're thorough in this before anything... Oh, dear God. She says, look at the nitro you're holding.
Listen, I have an inkling that there's something beyond this cave-in that needs to be explored.
Well, let's at the very least take a look at it a bit closer and make sure... Before we blow anything up, let's take a look. We'll all focus in that area and make sure there's nothing else that'll be damaged in the pursuit of this.
Wanted,
Fair
Professor Bogus. Property damage equaling 5,000.
It's failure to appear to court again.
Explosions got me into this mess.
This is
Explosions
not
got me out of this
anybody's
mess.
property. So let's be honest. That we are on wild lands. The university doesn't own this. I have free jurisdiction to blow shit up.
It does.
Well, I at least don't all the equipment that'll be lost in this.
Going over there, are you going to help them kind of excavate
Yes,
stuff
yes,
around there?
yeah.
Go ahead and give me, we'll call it there's not like an engineering, right?
It's
It's just like,
I have like
you have
a
weird science. So I don't think there's like...
Well, I have science, academics, electronics.
Let's do academics. Let's do academics here.
That's a 4.
4. Looking over this like cave-in, it's clear it originated from the other side, meaning that it's not like from above, from here. Like there probably is a path beyond it that this caved in from, which is nice to know that's not just like a loose bit of like rock that tumbled down and got in the way from above you or anything like that. I think there's probably a path beyond it. They do find a couple other like really closely sweeping, and it's going to take a decent portion of the day to do so, but they are able to kind of sweep away and find some scattered stuff around the outside of this that they get safely away. And she says like, let's start small and let's ease into breaking this thing down. We don't want to cause structural damage to this cave. We want to be able to get into there afterwards.
Yeah, it's fine. So I'll take, because I have let's see, because I've got, okay, I'm gonna start. I will start small. So I'm gonna put one thing of nitro. Can I like do a notice to see like where, if I can figure out where it's the weakest?
I'll let you use weird science or academics for this.
I use weird science. Let's hope for the best.
Come on.
Hey,
A 9.
Okay, you feel like you're very good at structural integrity and undoing the integrity of structural integrity.
For the record, I was rooting for Snake Eyes on that one.
I know you were. You son of a bitch.
That can
Okay,
you-
so I'll plant the case like right where
it'd be
it'd be best. Yeah.
All right.
And
Set up a line, set up a plunger,
Yeah.
get away from it, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to be dropping it.
Blowing up
Yep.
a lot of
We're going to pause there for a moment.
uh-oh.
Jeffers, you're riding with Grimes, right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are out kind of riding, or, doing your little circuit. I want both of you to go and give me a note.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I
okay.
got one of those
I got 2 notice.
and one of those.
6 explodes.
A favor.
A 5.
Okay.
That's a 9.
9. Both of you hear some nature moving about. You don't hear anybody like any sound like horse or human, moving around that isn't you guys, or little bits of sound coming from back the other way towards camp. However, Jeffers, you notice like a flash of movement in the trees, and you kind of like catch it and like focus for a second, and you see kind of a shape kind of peek around a tree at you. And as you kind of like squint and look closer, you see once again the face of Auntie Mai peering around the corner looking at you. And then you hear a massive explosion behind you. And it's just like behind you, and you kind of like look back and they're gone.
the hell is going on back there? We need to go back.
I reckon you're right there, young man.
Let's go. We're going back.
Okay?
Jesus Christ, my ears are ringing.
And you hear
Yeah, I hear that. I go, what? Okay, everybody stand back. I'm gonna go see if it's safe. You son of a bitch, now we're all dead. What?
Melton says, this explains, and Potter's like, this explains a lot.
What?
Mom.
Don't stop your bitching, you'll get better.
The dusk, and at this point it's kind of like late afternoon of the day, and so you guys have excavated around quite a bit. The dust is kind of slowly settling inside of here, and you've blown, like you found a really good spot to blow into this place, and you seem to have done a really good job of blowing a reasonable sized hole to get through this without causing too much damage to the stuff around it, and it seems still structurally pretty sound inside this cave.
Just in time for the nighttime for all the skellies to crawl out of it.
I'll take a step inside, just kind of.
Kind of glance in. Okay, go ahead and give me a notice.
That's a 4.
4. Also give me another academics. It's not really engineering, or like a
4.
4. 2 4. Stepping into here, it is clear that this is like etched walkway, probably. It's kind of carved in, mine shaft almost like. And it seems to go down like along far enough that you lose light and can't see it anymore. Also though, kind of glancing around and looking at this, you look up, and again, you are very knowledgeable about structural integrity and the act of ruining structural integrity. What you see above you is clear tool marks indicating an intentional cave-in of the entrance to this place. It seems like whoever caved this in did so on purpose and trapped themselves inside when they did it.
To keep the skellies.
Yeah. I'll just pull out my bolt gun because I'm already getting an uneasy feeling about this. All right. Well, I walk back out. All right. Well, we have a clear path inside. From the looks of it, it looks like it was intentionally blown from the other side.
What?
It's not so fun being on the receiving end of it.
Well, Grace kind of like perks up like, let's take a look.
I don't know. I think it would be best to wait for daybreak. Something about inside there didn't feel right.
What, you getting superstitious all of a sudden, Professor?
I'm not superstitious. I am a man, That is not.
I really thought you were just gonna end it there.
That is not.
I'm not
Well,
man.
man.
I'm a human being.
But
Is that a man
something
riding
about
a
that ain't
shrimp?
right. The fact that they blew it from the inside, intentionally, is raising all kinds of red flags.
Well, Professor, whatever threats may have been in this cave hundreds of years ago, I'm sure it's not going to be too dangerous to us anymore.
Oh, the temptation to teleport Potter to prove to everybody that supernatural exists is mounting.
She's like, you can certainly we'll follow you all as long as you're stepping lightly, but I want to see what's inside of there right away. You have no time to waste.
All right. Come on, little lady. We're going in.
And riding up, you can see Jeffers and Grimes.
What the fuck was that?
The fuck do you think it was? I blew a hole in the cave.
That makes sense.
Story checks out.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Jeffries.
All right.
You can come with us too.
Well, I'll get a lantern and take the lead.
All right. What's the walking order? All three of your extras want to come with. Are they the back three?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Okay, so how is it?
That's how people get dragged away into the darkness.
So this
I'm
is
Potter in the
definitely-
back, right?
I'm gonna hang back because before I go in, I'm gonna glance over in the direction of,
Okay.
Okay, so how I think we do this is
The woods.
the
Yeah,
youngin.
you gotta protect the subject matter expert at all
The
costs.
youngin
He's
and
the first one
I
to go.
will be at the front.
Okay.
And the little lady will be behind us. Then in between us will be our
And then
Grace, Potter, and
Grimes and Jeffers are taking up the rear.
yeah, they'll be
Okay.
back.
You guys start moving in this marching order. I'll assume a couple lanterns dispersed amongst you. Who's carrying lanterns? You?
I'll carry the lantern.
Okay. That's kind of one person near the front, one person near the back. Perfect. Got a little bit of light here. Going to the back, you turn around and look and kind of like glance in that direction in the woods. And it's that, that moment of like looking at woods. I picture aspen trees with this moment, but like trees that are tall enough that they don't really have like a bunch of low-hanging branches, and you just see this like seemingly endless layering of thick sticks at different depths and positions. It's almost like a wall, but there's gaps between it. That kind of like overwhelming sensation you get looking at dense wood like that. You get that, you son of a bitch, and you get that like the weight of that, like looking over it. And you get this like immense feeling like you're making eye contact, almost like you're being watched, but you don't see anybody or anything overlaid inside of that. But you do feel like it's like you turn around, you get that overwhelming sensation, but it feels like the feeling you get when you lock eyes with somebody when you do it.
The trees have eyes. Which, if they're aspen trees, is even
They kind of
fun.
do.
Yes.
I don't like
Aspen
this.
trees have eyes. How neat is that?
That's pretty neat.
How can you tell that it's an aspen tree? Because of the way it is.
That's the way it is. That's
How
pretty
neat
neat.
is that?
I feel like I'm walking into Spindly Norman's house.
Well, the whole time we're going through this cave, I'm gonna be peeking back.
Okay. It's the same sort of like, as you get into the cave proper and you can't really see the trees anymore, you still kind of get the like hair on the back of your neck stand up, like I'm kind of being watched feeling, but looking over your shoulder, there's no one there, and you don't get that like I'm making eye contact with somebody feeling. It seems like that was really emanating from the woods.
The old lady ain't you, bitch.
She's waiting for you in the woods.
She gonna jump you in the
She
woods.
crawled into your tent while you were down here messing around in the cave.
She's in your sleeping bag at the bottom of it. Your feet
like a
sliding.
snake.
Bye-bye.
That's why I always take my seat and slam it on the ground.
She's asleep in the toe of your boot out there.
That's why I shoot my bedroll 5 or 6 times.
Just in case.
If I've done the shit you guys have done, I might shoot my bedroll. Just saying. Anyway,
You ever knew what a cool one? Pop out.
you guys start heading into this cave, and it's a long trek. It seems like it's long in the sense of like ancient peoples carving this out. That was probably a lot of work for how long it is. We're probably talking good 40, 50 feet, maybe 60 that you guys walk before your lights kind of seem to branch out into what looks like a more open chamber.
Like a card chamber or like a natural cave?
It seems like it's carved into some. Well, you'll have to get up. Are you guys walking far enough, you guys are getting up into it.
I assume.
Yeah. Walking in and entering
If we don't,
into
the
it.
You touch it with your
academics
hands?
It seems like it's weird. Okay, so you're not super knowledgeable about this stuff. This opening is clearly large enough that it would have been a ton of work, and it's high enough up that it'd been a ton of work for them to carve out. And it looks different than the pathway you took. Weirdly, though, it's like the pathway seems almost intentionally carved to get to this point. It seems like it's not like a windy, like it's a direct path.
They followed a Norse god into Wyoming, and he went to dig here.
And entering into it, you guys kind of all start to spread out. And what you are in is clearly some sort of horrific ritual burial chamber.
Of course.
What is laid out before you is a fairly circular. It seems like entering into this, if no one carved into it, it would have just been like a fairly circular shaped opening in the middle of a mountain, or not the middle, like partway into a mountainside. But laid about the outside of this is clearly piles of bones. It's layered about ankle high and wrapping around the entire circumference of this room. Like as soon as you step in, you have to step over a couple of stray bones that have tumbled over into the pathway. Sitting in the middle of the room.
Here comes the horde mode.
Is a kind of dais, almost like a section you can see that's clearly from the outside. Like it looks like a pretty ornately chopped and carved tree stump or like section of log that's fairly wide, that's setting here and has etchings and carvings all around the outside of it. And setting on the top of it, as the light kind of branches and like sort of illuminates over the top of it, a single skull is sitting in the middle of it. But it's very human-like. It seems to be larger. It seems to be drawn out a little longer. It's still got its teeth set inside of it, and you can see that they draw to a point. It has 2 hole sockets for its eyes, and above 2 hole sockets that look like the sockets you would see for antlers or horns that would come off of an animal's skull, and it is entirely obsidian black.
We found Pan. That's where we got lost.
Oh, this is where he's been.
I'm gonna slowly
This labyrinth sucks.
I was wondering why there weren't any shepherds running in terror from a guy trying to bang them. That's in recent years. This is why Pan's been here the whole time. Okay.
It's just that was the first
slowly
horned
walk up
god that I could
kinda
think of that had been lost. So
try
I'm
to
like,
read
it's Pan.
look at the carvings on the.
Looking at the carvings, you can walk up.
Look
slowly.
at the bones.
So the professor, and you can see like your 3 extras are all like just like taking in like a gas taking in this room.
By and large, most of us are probably like, okay.
This is about par for the course.
Yeah.
And as you put
Like,
like, it's
Looks like
the
a
etchings don't look like language to you, or if it is language, it's not any sort of language you understand. And you've been helping them excavate a little bit today. You've seen what this like Nordic runic carving looks like, and this is not it. What's carved on this is either nonsense, random etchings or some sort of weird like artistic sort of etching, or this is a language that you've never seen the writing of before.
Let's give it a cross reference in the old book and give it an occult roll, I guess.
Go for it.
I'm gonna examine the skull. Like I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna
You
like
touch it with your bare hands.
I'm just gonna kind of look at it at from different angles, like
I'm gonna look at it.
because that is clearly a cursed skull. Like if we pick that up, we're triggering the whole.
No, of course.
That's the real Indiana Jones shit.
You immediately pull out a book and start flipping at it, and you can see like Grace Crosby, Professor Crosby, like is like trying to read over your shoulder and very interested in the fact that you've suddenly like taken out a book and gone over near one of the people with a lantern and started flipping through it. You flip through to the like a section about bones. There's not really much about that, and then you kind of flip to a section about like the devil and demons and stuff along that
Let's
lines.
try the obsidian black skull with horns and sharp teeth section.
And you do find that like that the bones of devils are described as being black. That's the big reference you come across.
And did you find it?
And while you
I should have gotten a shotgun.
and while you discover this, Professor, you kind of are like glancing, looking at this skull, like it's like this is clearly some sort of very strange animal, and they've done some sort of painting or treating to the skull.
Yeah.
Like what kind of animal has both horns and sharp teeth like that? Must have been something prehistoric, an undiscovered species perhaps.
Yeah.
And as you kind of like are glancing and looking at this, you make eye contact with the sockets. And there's a moment where you feel a horrific, unsettling feeling, and I want you to roll me a fear roll really quick.
Gets his soul sucked out right through his
That's
butthole.
spirit.
Spirit.
That's if his butthole had made eye contact.
Oh, just like Monty.
I freaking. I'll explain it later.
That is a 3.
A 3. That is a failure.
I
would like you to roll me a d20. And that, by the way, was a 3. It was actually a 2. Because of
Oh yeah, because I still have the wound.
No, with your wound, then it was a 1.
That was down. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and
does
roll me.
somebody hand me a
Roll me a
D20?
d20.
Is Miami a D20?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So I'll probably
15.
15.
Quite high, quite high.
I'll probably say, not like extremely loud, but I'll probably say at least to Mohan, like, devil bones, and I'll hand him the book open to that.
You
page.
gain a new hindrance. The minor phobia of bones.
Yeah. That's a bad one to get right now. That's like my phobia of spiders and that other.
Yeah, that ended up being crippling.
Yeah.
Oh, they're inside of me. I mean, it's minor, so like I can still.
Well, it's going to give you basically a -2 on all rolls in the
Against-
presence of bones.
Okay.
But as you glance at, like, you look at this and you like get this like deep unsettled feeling, and then you hear kind of lightly whispered behind you from one person to another, "Devil bones," and then this skull raises off the dais in front of you. And this is some sort of clearly trick of the light. What's going on?
Ed probably says, "Explain that one, Professor."
As this skull raises up and kind of hovers there, slightly
Where the
shaking
fuck
for
is
a
Scratch?
second. And then you feel a rumbling of the room, and the bones along the sides start to shake. And as the RPG players you are expect skeletons to start rising from them, the bones start flying across the room towards this skull. And one like slaps and sticks and aligns on the side of it. Another stacks and sticks underneath it. And then it's like a tornado of bones swirl around this skull, at the end of which you see a hulking, monstrous creature the size of a huge bear with sharp claws, sitting in the center of which it's like this large hulking figure that's neck kind of extends and short and like shrinks around till just this black skull is sitting at the front of it, and it's noisy. It doesn't like open its jaw and say, or it doesn't scream or roar, but the rattling, it's not, the bones seem ever shifting, and as it like comes together and moves forward, it's this rattle and crimp, and you can tell that even some of the moving like bones snap and cycle and move back inside of this thing as it steps forward.
Well, no wonder why I got a bone phobia. That shit's terrifying.
And I want everyone else to roll me a fear.
You know what?
Then I need the deck of cards.
I was expecting the skeleton horde mode, but I will admit the like
This much more
Elder
terrible.
Scrolls like bone monstrosity much cooler, honestly.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna open the spear down here.
Oh wait, we're rolling spirit, right?
Where did you hide it
6
when Maddie
explodes.
G
Oh, there it
wouldn't
is.
stop
Yeah,
playing
there it
poker?
is.
6 explodes.
Yeah.
7.
Grimes is completely unfazed.
Everybody take a
Spindly.
-1 from whatever you get and tell me what it is.
6.
6?
Let's
Four?
That's spirit, so I'm not going to 6.
The scariest thing is Spindly Norman.
After saying him, there's nothing I feel.
4 total.
Mine is a 4 because of my brave edge.
With -1?
With -1.
Okay.
4.
And
A
4
brave
exactly,
edge.
with -1?
Yep.
Alright, nobody else has any ill effects. I think, right, Jeffers, what's yours?
-4.
4? Okay.
In-
Everyone's on the line.
in my opinion-
With the -1, right?
Yeah.
It's a 4.
In my
Okay, cool.
opinion, the reason this terrifies Professor Bogus so much
It's his first-
is because it's something that is like
can't explain.
supernatural
Yeah.
that he can't explain.
Well, no,
away.
because
Whereas the
for
rest of us
Bogus
are
is-
like, we're
yeah.
walking in here like
That's
there's
a
gonna
good
be
start.
there's gonna be skeletons. We're gonna have to fight
Demons,
skeletons. So it like happens, and we're like,
Hags.
Well,
that's
it's-
scarier than we
it's-
thought.
Yeah.
It's the classic that
Hey,
this is
yo,
truly the first
oh.
supernatural thing that Bogus has come across.
Yeah.
Like to our perspective, we've been dealing with supernatural stuff this whole time. But to
Erickson,
Bogus
I
is
do request if you
On
didn't
top
do
of
it, fear
spaghetti,
rolls
but
for the 3 randos.
Sesame Street.
Of course. We'll start
one of them
with
has a
the
heart attack, I
professor,
swear to
who
God.
has definitely got the most spirit of the group by a long shot. She is okay. Next to Melton, he is not. And lastly to Potter, he is also. Oh wait, no, that explodes. He doesn't have a negative.
What's the chance? I turned and looked and I saw another 4 and I was like,
With considerable negatives to this, he ended with an 8. Potter's holding strong.
I thought for sure Potter was about to have a heart attack.
No. This is Potter's magnum opus.
This is his moment.
He's like, oh
Melton
my
is immediately
God.
shaken.
Look-
Not that he's going to really be taking part in this combat, but you see Melton freezes. The professor seems to like she is horrified and like ducking behind and away. You see though, you look over to Potter, and Potter is pensive. He is taking this in, and it's not like a dear God, it's like a dear God. What is that?
So he's that guy that dies in the hole.
Right. Yeah, of course. He's the first one to get an antler through the head.
Look,
But
is
All right,
if
so let's
So is
start.
it dear God or dear God?
No.
Wow,
Nothing.
I didn't beat you by one this time.
Yeah, nothing.
So we'll start. This.
Nothing happens on this cursed burial ground with my coat made out of an elk god.
It does not.
Cool.
It seems to be that's a legitimate god of the Native American people, while this is a false god of the Norse. No offense taken here.
Look, when we
No.
build our
What you doing?
Templar
I'm
order,
shooting it.
Hey, roll shooting.
I'm shooting with my gun.
No, but
yeah,
exactly.
and then
though.
we recruit Potter.
Going to your point, though,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
shoot
This
it.
is
I'm calling
this is
it. I'm
Bogus's
shooting
like
it in
first
the
thing he.
head.
You're doing a
can't
called shot to the
explain.
head.
I think
All
there
right.
is.
So normally a called shot to the head. Help me with this, Will. Called shot to the head, -4 for +4 damage.
Let's see where called shots to the head or vitals is at -4 for +4 damage.
So I'm gonna let you know something about this. This creature gets an undead ability, which you might recognize from something that he has. Called shots will do no extra damage. So to aim for the head, you will have a -4 to hit, but it will not give you +4 damage.
Well,
But-
called shots don't do extra damage to him unless it's a called
it's an
shot
old
to the
bone.
heart.
Yeah, with him specifically,
that's
but this
pretty
creature that's not.
But
the
it's
right.
an old bone.
That's the hint that I think is important.
I'm gonna try to.
You can definitely aim for the head. It'll be a harder shot.
I mean, I
and
was
it won't,
there.
As far as you know, meta knowledge, statistically, it will not help, but it might
But it
if
might.
narratively that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's a worthwhile.
It may not. Yeah, it may not help
Alright.
damage-wise, but it might be required to
For the
defeat it
narrative.
anyway.
So
I
5
think there's-
is
Exposed
it
the
12?
eye
Is
on
it
the
so
spell
1,
boss.
2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
D12. So this
It's
guy,
the open mouth of a dragon boss that only opens when it's breathing
Right.
its breath weapon that
Or-
you have to aim and hit at the right
so
time.
so it's a flat 0. Okay, it's 4.
You shoot it kind of like you shoot for this like weird head that's turning up on this like almost conical shrinking neck, and it fires and goes just up above the corner of it and hits the rock face behind. Is that the end of your turn? I
Yeah.
believe it is next. Who's next?
Queen?
Here?
We got Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Diamonds.
Queen of Diamonds.
Lucy and this guy with diamonds. This creature
It's obviously gonna go for Professor.
is going to stomp forward, and this large kind of bone claw is going to sweep across, and it is going to be able to make an attack on just about all of you with its improved sweep.
Holy shit.
All adjacent foes. So for the sake of this, I'm going to say that Jeffers and Grimes will not be hit because you were the back 2 of this group, but all 3 of you in the front will be.
Yeah, the back boys.
And it will
Back
make-
boys,
Back.
back boys.
Back, boys, back.
What you gonna do?
Oh, back
Sweets
boys,
back.
back. Alright.
I'm gonna make a
Bad
separate
boys.
attack against each of you because that's fun. That'll hit
Oh
some
my
of
god,
them.
we're back again.
Someone's getting
Who's
fucked
first?
up.
Oh no.
The person with the small hindrance that lowers their toughness by 1.
Of course. Both dice exploded, so we'll see which one's higher. It's this one, which will be a 14 against your parry.
14 will. That is enough for 2 raises.
2 raises. All right.
It's a good thing that we got all our bennies back.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't spend one on an earlier occult like I was thinking.
15. So what's your toughness?
My toughness is 4, so I'm gonna try and soak that.
That'll be worth 2 wounds. 4, because that'll be 11. That's just shy of a third. That'll be enough for 2 wounds.
Andrew.
I soak 1, so
take
I
one.
am shaken, and I take 1.
Before you roll
Uh,
for mine, can I do my power roll? Because I have deflection.
Yeah.
So if
Is deflection work against melee attacks?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is it 2d6 or d12 for the injury table?
It is 2d.
Was it
We'll do a
thinking about
d12.
a parody
We'll do a d12.
parody
I feel like that
Backstreet Boys.
helps
Because then
spread
1
the
and 2
results
are
out a little bit.
unmentionables. Is it the left ear or the right?
That's
4. It'll be an arm. Roll odd or even. Odd will be left, even will be right.
That is my left
Your
arm.
left arm gets like these again, it's like this torrent of bones that are constantly breaking and reshaping, and it scrapes across that arm, making it unusable.
That's a 7 with the subtractions.
So,
So I believe
is that you're at a total of -3 with your injury.
that's
Okay.
still 7 with the
With the -3. Okay. And what does it add to this roll?
That wasn't with the raise, I don't think.
7 is just shy of a raise, so it's just a
So it's a -2 to your melee roll.
So this one will be at a -2 against you. Not hit, and that's the damage. That's not going to hit.
Nice.
And then there's going to be one coming at Mohan. That is going to be a 6 against your parry.
Parry of 5. Ah.
So it'll hit. No raises, but it will hit. And
No, you don't get
15.
Okay.
What's your toughness?
6.
6. So that'll be a hit. That'll be worth 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Alright, I'll try to soak. Vigor roll. Wait, you gotta. 2 wounds right at the start? It's like, that'll mess you up.
How are you gonna go box it if you're wounded already?
6 explodes. Boop, 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 boop,
As long as it's
boop,
not a 1, you should be able to roll a new 6, you monster.
What?
It's a 1! You soak 1 wound.
Okay.
Just shy of the second, as you deserve.
1 wound.
It
It was detention.
You think I'm the ball of chaos?
Uh,
Me, ball of chaos number 2.
Oh, that's didn't go that
And make it double. Team got strong blasting off at the speed of light.
Surrender now, prepare to fight.
All right, go ahead.
Monty,
Whoever's
that's
next.
right.
Just pull him off.
Is
does
Queen
look like-
next, or I can't see
This
what you
queen.
have.
That was me.
So yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
it
it's
was
you.
You're right.
Oh, we could be Team
Nice.
Rocket for Halloween.
That would be pretty fun.
Well,
Make a discard stack.
can't use my rifle. Can't shoot. Can't
Can only
shoot.
shoot with one hand.
Yeah, can't shoot both guns. So I guess I shoot with one gun.
Here's mine.
Oh, I
Which
did a wound.
it's
I need an injury.
Go ahead and roll me a d12.
just.
Injury to the face.
That is a 7.
A 7. Roll a d6.
6.
Injury to
4.
the balls.
4. Battered. Your vigor die is reduced 1.
Okay.
Until this is healed.
I believe a 7 will hit without a raise.
7 will hit without a raise. You're not shooting at the head. You're just shooting.
Yeah.
I assume.
We'll just see what happens.
Okay.
I'm not double tapping either, which look, I'm flustered. We haven't played this. Again, it's been a couple weeks, and I got my arm clawed. 7 damage.
7 damage.
Probably did.
Does
Yeah,
not seem
shit.
to be effective. Not shaken. Doesn't get past the toughness.
Mark
Okay.
off that
Who's-
bullet.
Just me.
Aim for the goal.
I'm
Is
just
this.
gonna aim at him.
Him in general, no -4 from the skull shot. Okay.
Skull shot. That's what they call me in high school.
I thought that called D.
They don't call him.
Why can't I
You
read
have, a
that?
D, you have a D12 for shooting.
Oh, you're right.
You really? Oh no.
That wasn't worse. But...
It was worse. But it was accurate. Rather correct.
That is
That's the
4.
problem. It's
4.
not
4
accurate.
hits. No raises.
Okay.
Alright, roll the damage.
Just 2d6 plus 1.
That is
Technically, a lot of you guys are adjacent to this thing, but I'm not making you roll against its parry because it's so big. It's not like engaged right in front of you.
I think technically you might have a bonus to hit creatures that are like a certain size.
Well, these two aren't engaged, so.
Technically, I think you do. This one, we're not going to be doing that for this guy.
That's fine.
Is it times like this Mohan thinks to himself, I wish I had a shotgun.
There's a shotgun on my horse.
Anyway, that's 7.
7? 7 damage?
Yeah.
No. Does not shake it.
No.
So
Oh, actually, I don't even know if I got to take that.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
need to make a spirit.
You might get your bullet back.
I might get my bullet back. I don't get my bullet back.
You're
In fact, I rolled well enough that I got to take that turn. So.
Perfect. Who is after?
Fiber?
yeah, I got a 3.
I will try to unshake myself with my unshakable
Good on you for
spirit.
remembering that.
Almost like I just had a reminder. 4.
Unshaken, but you don't get your turn. Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna put up a barrier in front of the...
trying to separate it from the lobby.
barrier.
Yeah.
You will. It'll be a barrier to both people. Okay. Is your barrier fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he tries to cross, or he'll do 2d4 damage if I'm successful with
Then
this.
it'll be a flaming skeleton monster.
Yeah.
It'll be
It's just
weird.
like, don't fight zombies with flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Because then you
It's
just
a
get
4.
zombies
Or
that are on
that's
fire.
success with your ability, I think.
And then you'll be.
I don't know what that with your barrier ability. What that's just a 4 is successful. I don't know what that
It
means.
is. You don't get to expand it.
Okay.
I don't
Based
get-
on my
so
knowledge of
it's
barrier.
so it's up. So it's up. It's fire, and it's on fire. So if he tries to take a step or something,
Is that with your minuses?
oh, actually, you know what? No, that was a 1. So
Okay. Unable.
I almost forgot my minuses.
You're scared. You're very scared.
He got the gasoline canister out, but he couldn't get the back.
Well, no, it's pretty much a flamethrower.
You're
pretty much.
trying to get this like flamethrower device out, and you fumble with it too much. You're not able to get it out before this thing moves to where you have to get out of the way. Is that everyone's turn this round?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Everyone? Okay.
You draw.
Mediocre.
Reasonable.
That's good for us.
Not bad.
Another 5.
Beat you.
A king.
Lost to you.
Crabs is pretty quick, man.
A jack.
Oh, whoa.
After you.
Ace.
After you.
Check.
All right. Ace in my face. You go first.
Do the shoot.
Okay. Are you shooting the head or just the thing?
Yo, I'm gonna try for the head.
Okay.
Shoot.
You'll get a -4.
-4.
Oh, that would be 7.
7. That'll hit.
Nice. It's big rolls, big rolls.
Just shy of a raise, unfortunately, but it definitely hits.
And that is 7 damage.
7 damage doesn't get past the Gotta roll a little higher on the damages, unfortunately. Who's after that?
And me.
King.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot him in the head.
Alright.
It's a 1.
Yeah, 1. Because of -4.
Okay. Doesn't hit.
You have a D12. Like, you have a good chance of hitting
Who's next? One of the jacks?
I think the
Diamonds.
I think diamonds, yeah. I am going
Jack
to
has got diamonds.
double tap, do a called shot to the head,
Okay.
which
so
will get rid of my -1 from my wound. So it'll just be a -4.
There you go.
I wasted all of my luck today on my parking spot.
That is a 3. Just
shy. Just shy. Next check.
Yeah.
mark off them too.
I'm gonna try and get the barrier back up again.
Okay. It's tricky with all these wounds and spookiness going on for
Yeah,
something
no.
else.
The bones. Is that 6 explode?
That's a 0.
No. That's a 3, not a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try that one more time.
Okay.
Ooh, the bennies. The bennies
Benny's
are
coming out.
Nope, same thing, so
Okay.
failed again.
Failed. You are horrible. This is your brain isn't really processing what's going on, and you're struggling quite a bit. I have a 7, so that's before you.
Mohan's a little slow on his feet.
Did any of you guys move on your turn?
I'll move back from the wall.
Yeah, I'll probably.
Well, he didn't make a wall there.
Oh, right. You're right.
Yeah, it failed.
Yeah, well, this thing will probably just. Although, is it? I can't remember. Is attack of opportunity technically an edge in this system? I don't remember. I'll stay where I am just because I don't want to take an extra attack.
Anyone else? Is anyone moving around?
I'm gonna back up from it because I'm pretty sure I'm the closest to it.
Yeah, you kind of stumbled back as it rose up,
Yeah.
so you were one of the people close enough that when it stepped forward, it could do a sweep.
I would have stepped back.
Can I
a bit
yell
more.
at our extras?
I was
Get out of here?
just gonna say, it's like I was planning to do that my turn. I totally forgot. So glad somebody's
For the sake of that, you're going to be back. It's not going to be able to get you. Its sweep is going to be able to get one other person, and that's going to be the only extra who didn't step back.
Yep.
Which
It's
is
our boy.
The pensive
Potter.
Potter. We're going to start with Potter.
Pardon?
Just hits. Just hits. Doesn't hit with any raises.
And he dies.
I mean, if he takes a wound, he dies. He's not a wild card. We figured that out last time. Or, I guess Erickson rules whether he dies or is incapacitated.
It depends on how bad this hit is.
Well, here's the thing.
Uh.
I think he is going to take a wound here, and he is going to go down, but he's not just going to die.
Okay. Because he wants to use his bones.
Your bones are coming
Well,
with
it's
me.
that way we can, when we build our monster hunter order, like officially, we can recruit Potter to it.
That is a.
He seems to have an aptitude
What's
for this
your?
sort of thing. My parry is a 5, so
5. So 1 raise.
Great.
9. 9 damage.
I'll try. So good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm probably going
What
to
determines
succeed.
parry?
Parry is half of fighting
Half
plus
fighting.
2.
Plus 2.
And then Mohan has taken 1 as well. So you're up front, I guess.
Oh, that's the wrong die. I don't get to roll that for bigger
What's
dice.
your? It's a 9. Yours is 5, right?
5, yeah.
So 1 raise. Same.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Because of my -1 from my bad arm, that's only a 3, so I don't soak down.
Taking a wound. Roll it.
So I just blew that
Betting
penny.
for nothing.
And it's what's your toughness?
6er.
6er. So it's gonna be 1 wound coming at you as well.
Okay.
You got 10
I will
damage.
try and soak it.
3, which makes me think it's arm again.
Oh no. The other one.
I mean,
But no, you know
it
what?
depends. Yeah, I could get hit in the same arm.
You could roll any die. If it's odd, it's the arm that's already hurt.
D20, because I can.
Because why not?
I
And
have
he just cuts
burned.
your arm off.
It's odd.
Yay! You still get to have your right arm. What?
I take another wound. I
take
just
the other
burned.
one?
I just similar
Similarly,
story.
roll a d12.
10.
Tenor.
Man, this is where my deflection
He
level
gained the
hopefully
he
come
gained the
in
lame
handy.
hit dice.
Claim.
So you're not going to move around very well.
This is a dangerous thing to say at this point, but I think we should rule it that if I go down from wounds to my left arm, I probably lose that arm.
If you go down, if you get a like,
if
you go down.
none of my if all the only wounds that I've taken
Are
are to the same arm, I
Yeah.
probably
If all
lose that
4
arm.
wounds, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that's it's bad. Sad.
we can discuss all that.
that is the eye that I'm missing. Everyone's gonna assume the arm and the eye are related.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, did you guys hear that Ed lost her left arm and her left eye? But don't worry, she's all right now. Who's next? Oh, wait, no, you getting attacked next.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you already got
I
hit.
already
You
got
got hit, and Potter got hit. Potter gets scraped across his chest and falls back and and he's hyperventilating, grabbing at his chest.
That's why when the bone monster
The
rises
other
off
two
of the
backed
statue,
up before they were told.
You don't stand there and go, fascinating.
From
Dear
there,
God,
it'll be you and then a new round.
So, I see. My shooting isn't that good, but
This thing isn't such a hulking mass that you couldn't try and punch it in the head.
Can you please?
Can I-
It's
Ooh,
like
box him on it?
it's like punching hellhounds.
is
and
melee
punch shut out with the
is
brass
there
knuckles.
melee and fighting,
Just
or is it all
requires
just
just the
fighting?
right
It's fine.
timing.
Okay, then I'll use my
Just
silver knife
Okay.
that I
Yeah,
got from way
because
back
they,
when that
kind
I've
of
never
jump
I
used.
don't think you'll
back
get your
and stuff.
bonus
Yeah, it's got-
Oh, you're
for
right,
your
martial
unarmed
arts.
fighting stuff, but I don't know what the silver
It's a
knife.
D4
So-
unarmed.
Silver knife will be a D4 plus your strength.
Okay, so it's the same either way.
Okay.
It's just that usually I don't draw a knife on people. I
Okay.
just punch them. So this time
You try
I'm
and
gonna
stab it with the knife?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
think
monks are not a knife
silver.
fighter.
I'm like silver knife. You know, it's. I feel like it's thematic.
You know, if silver works, I'm gonna have
And
to.
are you aiming for
have
the
some
head?
silver bullets.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be at a -4. 6 explodes.
There's a chance. 11 total minus 4.
That's
Is
7
going to be 7. This thing has a pretty high parry, I'm guessing. Unfortunately, it's not just
Guessing.
just shot by a single thread.
Damn. Well, you gotta give it a shot.
You stab up at this, and the head recoils back into the bones as you stab up just in front of it.
Weird. Gross.
Weird.
New round. Who dis? Oh, very, very bad card.
It's
for
a
me.
little. It's scared of mine. Silver knife.
Yo.
Jeez.
Grimes is on.
Grimes
fire.
quick gun. Too bad it ain't Grimes accurate gun so far in this fight.
Yeah, trust me, I know how you feel.
Never take that. Attack.
Ooh, that was actually a bigger
Joke's on
miss
you,
because
this
I
one's
was
the Joker.
shooting at a -2 for my wounds. Anyway,
I know you.
all right.
So if I could
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
you drew
Mr.
mine
Crit
just
Fish.
weird.
Man, you drew a 9 and a 10. That was.
All right,
Alright,
who's
so
first?
Ace.
Aim for the head, I assume. Another
Yeah.
bad roll, unfortunately. Who's next? I'm a 4, so I'm guessing I'm last.
It's me, I guess.
Can I do
Once
something
again,
else?
Jerry and I.
Oh, you can.
I think I won this
What are
time.
you doing this
Can I
time?
go grab the kid?
The hurt one? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say you can like grab him by the shoulders and drag him back away
Okay.
from there. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And if you kind of bring him back, the other 2 will kind of move cautiously forward to help you bring him back.
Okay. Cool.
That's a 7 hit the head.
A 7 at the head.
Yeah.
After the -4.
With the -4?
Mhm.
Hell yeah, you hit. Roll
Grimes,
damage.
Grimes will not admit tomorrow that he was the one who dragged Potter.
More than a
there.
7.
What, so?
More than a 7.
Big hit.
If any of y'all say shit.
7! I rolled a 2 and a 4 3 times in a row.
Oh, damn. Alright, who's next?
It's me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try barrier one more time
Nice.
before I give up on it.
Well, actually, no. I was gonna practice rolls, but
At a
since
-3?
this one, that's been good.
So
Well, I mean,
yeah, that's a
over
3.
as well.
Damn.
Just shy.
Just shy.
Just shy. Who's next?
7.
9.
Nine.
The other 9. Once again, Jerry and I drew the same cards. This time I make my shooting roll at a -2. Well, total of -5 because I'm double tapping for the head.
Okay.
But I have 2 wound penalties. -2.
Just shy. Just shy.
Just shy.
Are you going for the stab again?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I mean, there's
How
a reason.
bad of a negative
Sure,
do you have to
I-
roll before the gun recoils and hits you?
Snake eyes. Snake eyes negative.
Nah.
Okay. It is gonna do a sweep at the people up in the front still, which is actually just gonna be the 2 of you this. Well, is it gonna be ultimate? It can move to where it can sweep at others. I'm gonna say
How smart is this demon bone?
it's not dumb. It's
I'm
you're up in
sad
its
I
face. You're up. You're not. You're kind of up there. You're close. It can move. It has to stay next to you. Potter got pulled away. You pulled him away, so you're in safe. I'm gonna say you can basically choose to either adjust to where you can also hit Jeffers but not hit you anymore, or choose to hit you. Hey there, Will. You like odds or evens?
You gotta say odds, because that's the arm that keeps getting
I'm
hit.
gonna choose evens because odds keep coming up with my armpits.
It's on. Good work. It steps to where it's going to be swinging at Jefferson Mohan. We'll start with Jeffers. That is a 6 against your parry.
Yeah, that's 2.
Here's a 2, so that will hit with the raise. 9.
You were
What's
shooting
your toughness?
6.
6. So you'll just be shaken.
Shaking, not
Just shaken. And then against you.
Once again, I did not roll to be in shape.
I don't like when you pick the dice up a couple of times.
What's your parry there?
Parry of a 5.
That's gonna hit. Oh,
Shake.
just shy of 3 raises.
Oh my
just
God.
shy of 3 raises, only 2. Luckily that one can't explode. What's your toughness?
6.
That gonna be enough for 2.
2 wounds.
6. It's 12. Oh, that's enough for exactly 3 wounds.
Okay.
actually.
Alright.
18.
Important soak roll.
Mm-hmm.
Important soak
So he just shakes.
and
He just shakes Jeffers, but he nails you
Well,
with
my
a couple of
hands.
exploding dice.
We'll come back and get him in the morning.
Nope.
No.
Well, so minus, because I have a -2. It's only
It's
3.
3.
So
you
I
go
get
down.
wiped out.
You're not dead. You're not dead, but you do go
You should
down.
roll to see where that wound is.
Alright, this is fair.
Mhm.
What?
D12.
You can go back and get some.
11.
or some stuff.
What was that?
I'm scared.
11.
Shit. I'm leaving this cave.
Roll
I'm
a
never coming back.
d6. Roll a d6.
You on your donkey, you
What?
won't get.
1. So cool. So this thing like claws. It like sweeps this arm across, and it kind of like Jefferson like tumbles back away from it. But as it goes across to you, you're in like this like stab motion. You kind of try and move away, but as you do, it catches and claws across the side of your face, and doesn't get your eye. Just misses your eye, but leaves you with a gnarly scar across your face. A permanent, hideous scar on your face. You now have the ugly hindrance.
Ugly.
Well, it's a good thing he's
and
married
you
already.
tumble back as
I'm
this
ugly and I'm
happens.
proud.
I'm ugly.
And I'm proud.
And from there, it's going to be a new round. Who dis? Oops, sorry, microphone users.
It's okay. I did bang the microphone with my can, so enjoy
with the
that.
can
You do have to pull a card.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for putting a compressor on this.
Thanks, Will,
Well,
You're
for
welcome.
editing this. That's nice of you.
6.
Happy to do it. I don't necessarily enjoy editing, but I'm happy to do it.
Come on, Joker. Come on, Joker.
You gotta put more
You
spit
crit
heads
fishing
in
son of a
there.
bitch.
Just mocha.
Alright.
We've gone through like
I got a
half the
7.
deck.
So
7.
I'm guessing someone beat 7.
Did I?
Both of you.
You both beat
Barely,
Zip.
but yeah.
All right, 9's first.
So remind me how this works. Can I move back and then shoot, or can I only do
You
that?
can. First, you have to get unshaken.
Oh right, and that's spirit.
Roll spirit.
Right?
Spirit.
Uh,
I've got spirit. Yes, I do. I've got spirit. I'm fucking dead.
Spirit.
It doesn't help when I try to make those soak rolls. The first one I took
9.
knocked a die off of my finger.
11.
Yeah.
You get to take your turn. You're unshaken and ready to roll.
All right, I'm gonna step back.
Okay.
Out of his range, if I can.
Yeah. You can't really get. I mean,
Well,
to
like
stay in the room. It's
out of his curve.
unless you want to like run back behind the extras.
Why are they not still just continuing to run?
Because they're trying to help their friend who's near
Mortally
dead on the
wounded.
ground.
Wait, the person with healing should help. Oh wait.
Well,
You know,
I'm gonna.
Just a 3 to the head.
That's a 3 to the head. Just shy.
You know, if Potter survives, he will be the boy who lived. You named him Potter. Although, when you introduced
You damn
him,
this boy.
you introduced him, and everybody just immediately started going Potter. It was like the look on your face of like, oh, that's what I did this. That's the
It felt,
decision.
it felt safe. I was,
It's a very common name.
I'm never safe.
I am going to. Well, first I'm going to roll to be unshaken because I didn't do that last turn.
Okay.
Cheater.
Yeah, exactly. So this is at a -2. Snake eyes.
You hella shaking, boy.
Yeah. All right. Well, the other thing I was going to do on my turn, I guess I just
Wasn't
won't.
it? All right. Who's next? Me. 7.
9.
Mohan's
To try
down.
and eat
8, 7.
my bones.
It takes your bones. It says, I need
6.
these. I'll be
Yeah.
back
We're just
later.
missing a 5.
You step back. Going to, I mean, it wants to hit multiple people. It's going to step forward and it's going to be sweeping at the back line now. So it's going to leave you up at the front. But the people in the back line, it's going to be able to hit a combination. 1 second. We'll find out who's going to hit.
We'll see him.
It's going to Professor and then Professor and Grimes.
Okay,
It
I'm
steps
gonna roll for deflection here.
Make sure you keep track of the points you're spending.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing to protect.
Yeah, I know.
I'll start with his attack on Grimes while you... the war on
Maybe we
Grimes.
should try to like circle it so it can only hit
Grimes? What's your
Then we could
parry?
My parry is
Terrible.
5.
Okay, it misses.
Ha!
Is it terrible? No.
We
Actually quite good.
admittedly haven't been doing a whole lot of shooting at it, just in general.
I've been trying.
Yeah, man, I've been in the face.
I
like
used
3
all
times.
my luck today to go get a parking spot.
That's a
Up front.
6 with
So,
the with
so,
the,
so it's successful, just that it'll be a -2.
yeah, because it doesn't get the raise.
No raise, but -2.
Oh no. I hate that I can like every
You
once in
can
a while I
glance and see
see
when a
like
12-sided die explodes. -2, what's your toughness there?
4.
4. So that's going to be enough for 3 wounds, unless you can soak this. So you might want to spend a penny there.
Yeah.
You go have
Roll
those.
Yeah,
for
here we go.
Those are me.
is it the huckster build? Because I like No, Mohan's fine.
Yeah, I'm
4
the one
and
who
6
should be looking for
explode.
replacement
Okay.
character options.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the 4 first. 4 explodes.
Okay.
4 explodes, 12.
Don't even worry about rolling the other one. That's enough to soak all 3.
Okay.
You soak all 3 wounds, and you're
Tuck and
not
roll.
shaken.
Oh my god.
This thing, like its clawed hand reaches up and like stabs down, and somehow like makes a cage of bone around you, but doesn't puncture you anywhere as it pulls.
Deflection bound for the win.
And it missed you, so that's its round. That's its turn. Who's after the 7? Which 6?
6
It's diamonds first.
diamonds.
The
Oh, roll me a vigor.
it's expressly.
Oh, and my vigor's a D type lower.
I'm gonna try and teleport you to
Yeah.
the wall.
It's a combination.
See,
Nice.
this dice.
You don't bleed out.
Teleport
Hooray.
solid objects.
And after that, other 6.
Professor.
Well, I'm trying to decide how I want to do this because I'm giving up on barrier.
Phase.
I'm just gonna shoot it with my bolt.
Bolt. Okay. Are you aiming for the head?
just goes running for the dynamite.
No,
He's
I'm
not
just
coming
gonna
back.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think I still have nitro somewhere here. It's just a matter of finding. That's a 1, so
Okay.
nothing.
Not gonna contact. Anyone after the 6 or is that new rep? 4. Grimes, you're up. You weren't shaken. We missed you last time, so
Are you aiming for the
aiming
head?
for the head.
Yeah.
All right. One of these times you got roll
ooh,
good. Right?
Is that? That's a 4.
That's a 4 on the dot.
Yeah.
4 hits.
All right. So roll
damage. No raise, but it'll
It
hit.
should just be. I think it's
2d6.
just flat 2d6.
Yeah.
Get those out of
Oh,
here.
I'm sorry.
Get that. I've been rolling bad with that one.
I rolled your good rolls.
5 total.
Oh, yes, I can do it.
No, yeah. My that purple, black, and gold one of mine didn't help you at all. Just like my dice haven't been helping me. Period.
How do you think I feel?
Gosh.
I haven't been able to do
Such a
anything with
bummer.
my gadgets. I'm too
No
scared.
7s. I was double checking because the skull might have a different toughness than the rest of the body. But
Having
Makes sense. Makes sense.
having this outer world experience is really
Yeah.
stressing Professor
that's
out.
the end of this
Give me
round, I
this.
believe.
It is.
Sorry. Go ahead and let me pull the top card off because I don't trust you to not. These times.
Hey.
All
There's
of that,
still 2 jokers
all of that
Yeah.
stacking the
All
deck
I'm
and
saying-
palming cards to give Erickson bad ones and just
I'm
let him
saying
actually
Joker,
Joker for.
Queen of the King.
draw. Oh, damn it! That means I'm gonna get like a 2. Oh, 6. That's not much better.
Alright, Ace
I'm
first.
the one with
Ace
the lowest
first.
one.
I'm the one who sucks. You're doing. It's one of the 2 of yous last time. I mean, it didn't make much progress on the 2 of yous last time, so it's gonna do it again. Are you trying to use your gadget?
Yeah.
Okay. How many points you got left?
After this, I'll have 11.
Okay. 11.
Yeah,
Oh, it's 1.
yeah, wild
'Cause you have
science.
you have a ton,
Wild Science starts.
but you have a chance with those ones. so
Yeah.
have big fun.
Wild science can always go wrong, but it does have a lot of
Hey,
points.
it's next to you if you explode.
4. So I
4,
think-
just -2.
Yeah, so just nice too.
It's gonna hit though. What's your toughness? Or your second parry?
Oh, my parry 2.
2, so basically 4.
I wanted to try and save you so badly, but I didn't get my last turn, and you're going to get.
What's your toughness? The toughness is 4.
I get to
So that's gonna be enough for 1 wound.
Alright.
Whatever the
There goes my
whatever
last penny.
the, whatever the
roll
ticking
the
clock.
roll the
is.
soak.
Ugh.
That one was my last
Man.
For the war on Grimes.
Did not hit.
What's your
Dorothy's gonna be freaking
My
pissed.
your parry?
5.
It does hit.
I
No
take,
raises.
I take the wound.
You take the wound. Roll me d12.
Get out of here.
What's your toughness?
My toughness
Yours is probably
is 4.
not enough. Yeah, you're just shaking.
It's a 4.
4
Ow.
to 6.
Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, it could be so much worse.
That could be a lot worse.
It's a 4.
Well, the biggest die I rolled was a 1, so that's good. It's a 4. Roll another die. Tell me odd or even.
Odd.
Odd. Left arm down.
Oh, good. I don't use my left arm. So,
All right.
Well, I wasn't using it.
This thing's
Jack?
been out of commission so long
no,
that I just
King.
don't even rely on
Is it
it.
done?
It's done.
King.
Just gets 2.
You're up.
King.
Let's see it.
Nope.
Next.
Jack.
We were just
I
not.
mean, I wasn't shooting at his head.
Oh.
5.
Did you turn Rodney Dangerfield
That
there for a second?
wounds do.
See, the thing about my
count.
wife is
So that's
she's a
3
real
wounds. Is it 3 or
bone
4?
horror.
3.
Hey,
So
we're both
only
here,
only 2 on that one.
2 to hit.
No, because I'm bleeding out, right? I rolled.
Oh, that was a 2.
Yeah, because wounds
Good to
count
know.
towards
Because
that.
wounds do count towards.
Okay. I'm going to interject here with letting other people do something, which is extras. You see a very concerned professor attempt to do some help
A little bit
for
of healing.
her student. 6 explodes.
of course, she helps.
6
her shoot
explodes. All right. You see some surprisingly masterful battlefield medicine.
That
from
doctor
the
wasn't for nothing.
yeah. Like she took enough anatomy and physiology science classes that she seems to be able to help out Potter quite well.
Good for pocket.
Good. at least Potter will survive this. The 6, I guess.
Actually, no.
Jack.
It's the jacket class.
Oh, it's
so
it's-
Oh, I'm sorry. You should have gone before me. I
Son of a
apologize.
bitch. Alright. I gotta roll to be unshaken first, right?
Yep. Spirit? You got spirit?
No, I don't. Yeah, that's just a flat 0, so I don't get to do anything.
Okay. Still shaking.
This is the worst day of my life.
Is anyone next? Or is that the last person? Who's next?
I try and. Well, it's me and Graham.
Well,
still.
yeah, it's-
I try and be unshaken.
Hey.
This roll -2, so it's a total of 1.
One success.
And your spirit is a D8, so
D6.
Nope.
pointy, and one of those. 6
Sounds
explodes. Well, I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Since
unless
have
you
the
get your turn.
Yeah. 11.
11, and you've got just a minus.
Right, that's a
You
5.
don't have
That's a
minus
3.
anything.
Sorry, 9.
9.
That's
You're not injured
No.
yet, right?
No, I'm
So
just
yeah, you're
shaking.
good. You get your turn.
You can try and shoot it.
Shoot it in the head. Shoot her.
6 explodes.
6 explodes, and that's a 9. so 7. So 9 still higher. So 5.
5
It hits.
will hit.
All right.
Roll damage on the
Can
head. No
you beat-
raises. Come on, let's get some 6s.
7 exactly. It was this one and that one.
Oh, okay. 7 exactly.
We've been
again.
getting 7s like this.
Not shaken. Just shy. By but a single point, perhaps.
Lower that point, damn
Look, I'm not pulling punches on you guys,
true.
alright? This
That
is
was killing already.
this is a 5-on-1, practically an 8-on-1. No, it's a 5-on-1. 5.5 on 1 at best. Is that the end of your guys' mission slots?
We're really leaning towards
let me
4.5
pull that there.
on 1 or 4.
There's got. I don't know if I get the
We'll
joke.
get it one
If you get the Joker, we are.
He got the
God,
Joker.
He got the Joker. Come on.
You.
Yeah.
All right,
Bastard.
all right. I'm hoping Square pulls the other one.
Someone can pull the other Joker, and I let the player go over this Joker.
sorry.
I'll let the player go first.
I mean, you still get to decide when, but yeah, I
No,
would
you
give
pull
the
from the
players.
top. You freaking.
Nope, I'm gonna be weird. Didn't matter. I still should hold it too.
Pulls
Yeah,
the
first.
first
Ah.
Well, look who's getting
Plus
hit
2 on
for-
everything?
Yeah, +2 on everything.
2 on
Rolls
everything.
and damage. Unless he has that edge that lets him
He's
double
not,
his melee
he's
combat
not.
damage this round.
Alas.
Where'd your card go?
Oh.
You didn't pull one.
Don't worry about it.
8.
He pulls the Joker.
That would be real karma.
Don't worry about pulling cards for the rest of this.
You're fair.
Oh, we hold dead.
No, but he's dead again.
Gonna be the same 2. Are you using your gadget?
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah, you could. You might change how many races.
Once more, Jimmy Mohan has died. So now the next time we're back in town and somebody's like, didn't he die? We get
that's
to
a
say,
2, so
only
it's
about
got
4 times.
It's a 2, so nothing.
I'm screwed.
Okay.
the-
What's your period?
Jimmy
again?
Mohan is
2.
dead.
2.
Long
So
live Jimmy
that's
Mohan.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Yeah.
I
Are you
go
at
down.
Benny's?
I go down.
You go
I'm
down?
at Benny's because that's my 4th.
Roll me a d12.
5.
5. Okay. 1. Roll me a d6.
3.
3. Okay. Reduce vigor by die type, which is
Well, now I'm at a D4, so I can't go any
Oh,
lower.
So take that, Game Master.
Yeah, suck it.
You sure showed me. Who's next?
Grimes with
Oh, sorry.
Can
Who's
we-
next is the
No,
other person
it's
who's
the other
attacking,
game.
which
Oh,
is
right.
Grimes. You're right. That could have been worse. What's your parry?
5.
5.
It's with the +2. It's going to hit with no raises.
Alright.
It's only an 8.
Get out of
So
here.
damage.
I roll
But he still
damage.
gets +2 on damage.
He still gets +2 on damage.
Toughness of 4.
It's going to be enough for 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay, you
That's
can
10 damage. So
probably roll
enough
the
for 1
shot.
wound if you don't soak.
I'm gonna soak it.
So vigor, so a D6 and a D4. So the pointy boy,
The disappointed boy.
and a D6.
And a dice.
Chibi boy. Yeah.
Just,
So that's 4.
Yeah.
So soaks it.
Soaks it. Okay. No wound. No shake. Good work. Your turn.
No
and
wound.
you are not shaken.
No shake.
No wound. No shake.
No.
I mean,
no shit.
freaking the Joker and only taking one of you down. That could.
Hey, that's
That's
much
pretty
more.
good.
I guarantee
Shuffle
You
you.
know
up
what?
there.
You know what? It's a good thing it took me down because I can't.
What?
She hasn't. Grimes hasn't gone yet.
You're going right now.
well, don't tell me.
Go, King.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing Bogus is down because he just was not functioning in this fight.
He's very. I mean,
Now, out of curiosity.
it was all just a dream.
Where was the other
Of
Joker?
course. It was only just a dream.
It's only just a
4D.
dream.
So
No,
would've
I don't think
somebody
he did
would've
Professor.
Somebody would have
could.
got it.
I think this is.
What you got?
Well, no, because he would have picked from the middle.
Wait.
So
Well,
I
what did
would've-
you just roll?
This.
This. So 10.
What was the other die?
A
1.
one.
Okay.
So
So
the 10 minus 4 is 6. You hit the head. Don't
Alright.
raise.
Don't pick them for me.
You are the problem. It's not her who's the roll.
Giving her nothing.
Another 7?
No,
No,
6.
6.
We both rolled 7s
Oh
twice.
my gosh.
I think I rolled a 7 once.
Time for roll another 7.
Alright, you're up.
I
Aim
would've-
for the head.
Aim for the
Roll
head.
for the
You're
roll for the
wasted.
head.
I have
Nope.
to know.
Damn. Who's next?
Me. Trying to be unshaken still.
I was trying to avoid that one because it was
It
giving me
explodes. I get my
Take
turn.
your turn, lady.
Are you the hero we need?
Unlikely.
Not likely. Neither of those really helped me at all. I specifically looked up teleport to see if I could teleport this thing into a wall. It specifically says you can't teleport at least into some
No
objects.
telefragging.
Well, are you teleporting? You're the head.
I just teleport his body into the wall.
My bones. That would be actually really interesting if the body counted as a separate entity and you could like teleport that like above ground. But
You
like
could certainly
leave
try.
that-
You could certainly try.
That would be
Is a
really
corpse
fun.
Well, you just,
object?
I mean, you just Konosuba it and steal his head.
Right.
If you want to try and teleport the head out, I'd let you try.
No, I'll probably shoot.
Shoot the head.
Probably shoot the head.
Okay.
Total of -5
All right.
with double tap. I can't double tap on. Well, if I
Hold the
switch to
other
the
gun?
other gun, I
Yep.
can double tap.
You're not using it. Your other arm's busted.
Yeah,
You were, you
well,
were.
6 explodes.
There's a chance.
6 explodes.
There's even a bigger chance.
6 explodes.
Yes.
Up to 18.
The moment we've been waiting for.
6 explodes. 24. 29. No, sorry.
24.
24 to hit. Yeah.
That will hit with 20 worth of raises. 5 raises.
Cool.
Five raises.
So let's do
So
the 5
5d6.
raises. Let's do the 5
That
raises
can't
first.
explode, and then you're damaged.
There you go. I was gonna say,
Listen,
20,
you're
20.
very likely to be over 7.
Ed.
You are rolling 7 dice. So if you end up with 7, I'll be very disappointed.
So
in you.
none of these can explode. So 6, 10, 12, 13 on
Plus
top
damage.
of the
13.
on top of the damage from the pistol
That's
itself.
more than 7.
That is more than 7.
So it's 13, 16, 22, 28, 29, even 30.
Even 30 damage.
That is
That doesn't do it.
You didn't even need the choker.
Dropped him to half. because of the bonus wounds that he gets from
It's not
Professor
this
Bogus
fight. That's
tipping.
not this fight. No, that's later. Don't you worry about that. That's a secret. That's a secret tool we're gonna use.
Hell yeah.
Going to try and soak.
This
There
is why
were-
this is so cinematic.
There
It's
were
like-
so many 6s in over the course of that. That is insane.
So, someone needs 4 wounds to go down, right?
Yeah.
So, if someone took 5 wounds, soaked 1, it
That
still takes
takes
Still
full.
goes down.
wounds.
Turns out there's a new socket in this here skull, and it's a bullet hole right between the eyes. As you aim fire, it shoots through, and a little bit of black splintery bone scatters out of the back, and this pile of bones comes crashing down onto the floor.
If it goes to Jimmy Mohan, I knew it.
Professor Grace is going to run forward quickly, immediately going to the Professor Bogus, and attempt to try and stabilize it.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with Mohe.
She's gonna try that too, but she cares more for her former colleague. That is.
I'm gonna
just a
pick up Ed and be
success.
like, you
Thank
did it, you son of a bitch!
Like,
So I still have like 3 wounds.
Ah, my arm.
Oh, sorry. Here's a shot
You
of,
are
for you.
stable,
Oh, thanks, I will take that.
but not awake. She stabilizes you.
So,
You're not dying.
Okay, so
You're
I
just
still have
unconscious
the
with
4.
all your. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make her make a separate
Party
roll.
keep my name.
If anyone would like She has some medical knowledge. She's going to go over and try and help, and she's going to, wow, both 6s explode on this one? That sucks. She confirms that Mohan does not have a pulse. With a 9.
He'll be right as rain tomorrow morning.
I'll believe anything you say to me. Who's hurt? Let me take a look.
I am.
Imagine getting hurt.
This is at a total. It's a D4
Okay, I just
D6
want
minus
this to be
4.
known.
But
This is
I'm
the
going
first
to try a
big
couple
encounter
of
where-
healing spells.
Okay.
This is the first big encounter where Grimes didn't take any damage.
Grimes is like
So,
gloriously
did you take any
untouched.
wounds, Jeffers? No wounds for Jeffers. You took some. She'll try. I'll let her do one on each
Okay.
person, and then let you do one on each. Because some people.
I mean, if
took
she heals my wounds, then I'll have less of a negative to.
she's gonna heal
You are
one wound.
haunted by an old pig,
Awesome.
She
She heals one of my she heals my left arm.
And you're dead.
leaving me
Grimes,
with a
Jeff,
left arm.
you didn't take any. So that's all.
I freaking love that Erickson. Oh, both these
An old
6s.
head
She is
slip into your
She's certain. Well, this is even more interesting for things that might happen
You're just
later.
like,
She is
blah, blah, blah.
100% certain that you are dead.
Not the first person to think that. I'll take her
Not
word
the first
for it.
person to be right.
I'll take her word for it. He's dead, which is why once again maybe I'll have a talk with him tomorrow when he just when we're sitting around the campfire
Drinking coffee.
I'll
Okay,
start with a
making
healing
coffee in the morning.
roll on myself because if I succeed, it'll make other ones easy.
Okay.
Her, and then I can try Potter and him. The one on myself does not work, but it does take the points. I'll try one on the professor.
Okay.
Every success just heals wound. And honestly, I can try as long as I have power points left. Still nothing. I've done magic successfully exactly once. Now we'll give
And for the sake of you being stabilized, you'll technically have 3 wounds missing. One will be back for you to be stable.
and for my last healing spell, I'll give
Oh, Professor,
Potter.
we won't get our slumber
Okay.
parties at the
Even though he seems to be-
hospital.
And she watches you start
I'm
to
not
like
awake,
do
I can't
incantations
answer.
and stuff.
Oh, that's a total. That's a. But it doesn't. That doesn't.
Does none of them work?
None of them work.
Okay, so she doesn't see you do magic, or doesn't see you successfully do magic, but she sees you try.
This
and so does-
this witchcraft shit is harder than it looks.
Especially when my arms freaking kill me.
Yeah. I also tried to do it with one arm.
All right. There's a moment of peace,
Peace?
quiet at the very least.
I would like to
Tranquility?
start by breaking the devil skull
Okay.
into smaller pieces.
You go over and you're like
possible.
trying to like stomp it.
Yeah.
You like stomp down and it hurts your foot. It doesn't
Mm.
break.
Freaking thing. Yeah, dynamite.
D100 to break his foot.
It doesn't injure you, but this seems like very sturdy bone.
You get to shoot it much more.
You can roll or I guess. No, I mean it's up to
Yeah, do what you want.
Can I try to shoot it?
Yeah. First thing I'm gonna do is reload my guns.
you. can shoot the skull again if you want.
Yeah, fuck it.
Go ahead and roll me a
This
shooting.
does seem like the most yeehaw Grimes thing. This. Shooting of
There's a 10 on that one.
a 10.
Okay. You will hit with a raise.
Okay, so
Right?
it's,
Yeah.
roll 1d6. This one doesn't explode. 1. And then roll both of these, and they can't explode. 6 explodes. So we're at 10, 12.
12. You put another hole in it.
Yeah.
This makes you feel better about it.
Yeah, a little bit. This thing did. It did.
I'm dead.
You
The
did.
professor's like, Professor Crosby is going to be like, you people seem all too comfortable with what's going on here, so I'm assuming this isn't your first time interacting with something like this.
Let me put it this way. This I would rank this as the third worst day of my life.
We had some
Horrifying.
ghouls crawling out of a hole once that we had to explode the hole. It was a whole big mess. And then
Vampire.
More of a big mess hole.
I had to shoot a couple vampires. That was easy. They were dead.
Man, if you don't believe in God, you probably should believe in the devil at this point.
I certainly
That is
Well
the most
said.
Jeffers thing I think I've ever heard.
And with that, I think we'll stop this episode of Devils of the West. Because it seems that The gods of the world may or may not be real, but the devils certainly are. We will see you all in the next one as we kind of further unravel this situation. This one's kind of already gone long as is with that fight. So, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.